This wonderful facility up to the end of our seminar. I know some of you have flights back, but let's spare time this evening. I've invited His Excellency. I've invited my friend Alfred Mutua, the minister. I've invited the governor of Mombasa. Also encouraged him to behave like the late Karisa Maida, to come and join us in our gala dinner. Your Excellency, you have the floor. You may be seated.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The Speaker of the National Assembly, Right Honorable Moses Wetangula, a.k.a. Papa Roma, the Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Gladys Booth Shelley, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, Honorable Stephen Twigg, the House Leadership, honorable members of the National Assembly, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm happy. Let me first read what has been written for me, then I say something on my own. You know, there are some people who sit somewhere to organize your thinking, which is okay. I'm happy to join you this afternoon for the closure of the post-election seminar for the 13th Parliament here in Mombasa. It is my hope you have had fruitful deliberations. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, allow me to congratulate all of you on your election or nomination to the August House. We know that winning an election is no mean feat. Now, welcome to the reality of service delivery to the electorate. Outside this venue, everyone looks upon you with great expectations. A better tomorrow, a dignified life. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, this seminar could not have come at a better time than now when the government is fully constituted. I salute you, honorable members, for vetting and approving our nominees. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, over the past few days, you have been taken through sessions on leadership, powers and privileges, budget making, representation, media engagement, protocol and etiquette, and national, regional, and global security. This will assist you immensely in the execution of your mandate. I believe that the seminar is a step in the right direction and will improve the functioning of our democracy. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you are in service as members of the 13th National Assembly when Kenya is taking off into a great future. When the world is recovering from COVID-19 pandemic, grappling with climate change, and many other challenges of our time. It is also a time of the great digital divide as we look into the future of work. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this is a moment to stand and be counted as people who put Kenya on the resilience path. I say this based on the legislative and oversight role in the implementation of the various government policies and programs. The Kenya Kwanza administration is ready and eager to be oversighted by Parliament. We want to be held accountable. This is why we are proposing an amendment to the standing orders to allow cabinet secretaries to appear before Parliament and be questioned directly by the honorable members. To the young and the new members of the Assembly, you have now settled down to work and deliver not only to your local constituents, but to the nation. You have a lot to learn from your veteran peers. Do not be afraid to think in the 21st century and deliver exceptionally. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, it is important to know that working together while respecting our various mandates as the three arms of government will not only make our work easier, but also facilitate smooth service delivery to the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, further, honorable Speaker, the deliberations of this seminar have charted a clear roadmap on entrenchment of the national government Constituencies Development Fund, NGCDF, and the National Government Affirmative Action, GAF. Members have vast experience and knowledge of the invaluable contribution of these two funds in elevation of communities through sustainable initiatives in health, education, roads, infrastructure, and other sectors. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, As I conclude, I'm impressed by the continued partnership and support accorded to the National Assembly by the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA. The presence of representatives from various parliaments and the International Republican Institute is an indication of the delivery of knowledge, the diversity of knowledge exchange gained at this forum. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we have work to do. I urge for unity and collaboration irrespective of our political formations. We will be on the right side of history if we jointly deliver on the promise. With those very many remarks, I have changed, it was written few. I declare this seminar officially closed. Thank you and God bless you. Asante sana. First and foremost, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for inviting me to come here. This is a very emotional reunion for me. I was in the 12th Parliament with many good members here, and I really had a very good time for 5 years in the National Assembly. And I have not had time or the opportunity to interact with members of the National Assembly. I must tell you the truth, I really miss the National Assembly. And the ease of doing things, the comradeship, and just being there. Kind of life I'm leading is not a very good life. I must tell you. Everything is arranged for you. You can't go here, you can't go there, you can't meet, you can't, I know, it's not a very enjoyable life, but somebody has to do that job. I really miss the very good arguments we had there at tea. The Honorable Wanjala here, we had very good conversations, and he was very pertinent on the issues of polygamy. I would go for debate with the Honorable Peter Kaloma, and we had good arguments. And during break time, off camera, he would agree with me on some instances. So I must say that you people have a good opportunity. Please do your job. And I want to say, truthfully, President Ruto and I want you people to oversight us and hold us to account. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. I can tell you, this power that people are given, if you are not careful, it can get into your head. We want to be oversighted. You people hold us to account. You are paid to do that, and do it fearlessly. And I want to assure you that the Ruto administration is totally different from the previous one. None of you will ever be arrested by anybody for holding us to account. None of you will ever be subjected to audit of the NDCDF because of your views. Nobody. You people do what you must do and do it without looking back. Don't look over your shoulder. We have made a conscious decision that for democracy to thrive in this country, we must let independent institutions operate independently and support them. Our officers of the National Government Administration and the police have instructions from the President and myself that respect of elected leaders is not negotiable. And it does not just apply to elected members from the Kenya Kwanza formation. Any leader, irrespective of the party, must be given due respect. And we have told our county commissioners, and I repeat when I'm here, you look for a working formula with elected leaders, because those leaders are elected by the people, and you have just come there to work, and you leave them there when your tour of duty comes to an end. And if for whatever reason you cannot work together with an elected leader, it is you to give way, because that leader cannot be transferred. That is the truth, and I've told them. And you know mimi ni mtu ya kuongea ukweli. I have told them. And please, our ministers and PSs have clear instructions. Go to their offices and push programs and projects for your people, irrespective of the party you come from. All these projects are funded by the taxpayers, who include your constituents who elected you. Go to those offices, and the ministers, the PSs have instructions. They must serve every Kenyan equally. That is why the president and I took 3 days in Luo Nyanza, where we were not voted for the way we would have wished. We were in Homa Bay, we were in Siaya, we were in Kisumu, because that is part of Kenya. And those are Kenyans who are there. And no Kenyans who elected us, who did not elect us, are people of Kenya. And there are no two presidents, there is one president to work for everybody. So we shall be coming to your constituencies, irrespective of where you voted. The elections are over, we are now working. When the time comes, another 4 years from now, we'll sort out each other in the normal way. And, but for now, we want to work. Good people, in your mandate is legislation. Make good laws. And when you make these laws, make them assuming and taking the position that they will be implemented by your worst enemy. That is the way to make laws. Some of us, we know that, because laws that we made were used against us. So please make good laws for posterity and take it that they can be implemented by somebody who doesn't mean well for you. I'll be persuading you shortly. I've been given a very serious job to deal with cartels in the coffee, tea, and milk subsectors. We have started consultations with all stakeholders, and there is a parliamentary caucus on tea and coffee. I'll be meeting you shortly, amongst other stakeholders. We will be proposing to amend certain laws, to create certain regulations, to make sure that the middlemen and the exploiters of the Kenyan farmer are removed anywhere in this country. When those laws come to you, please be patriotic and be sympathetic and have empathy for the Kenyan farmer who has been exploited by middlemen and cartels for the last 5 centuries. It's not a small job. It's not easy. You know, for those of us who are farmers, dairy farmers, and beef, you know, a calf, removing it from the under of the cow when it has been sucking milk is not easy. You are likely to get a very hard kick. So we are seized of the battle ahead of us. But we are not intimidated. We must free the Kenyan farmer from exploitation. And this will be achieved by enacting the proper laws, such that even when William Ruto and Riggy Gachagua are retired, those laws protect the Kenyan farmer forever. And I can tell you why it has not been possible to deal with the cartels who have been exploiting farmers, is because the leadership of the country for the years that have passed were part and parcel of that business. So there is no way they would have been on the side of the Kenyan farmer. For now, today, reforms in the coffee, tea, and milk subsector will succeed for one single reason, that William Ruto and Riggy Gachagua have no interest whatsoever in those 3 subsectors. Our only interest in the milk subsector is the amount of milk put in our cup of tea. That is our only interest. Our only interest in the coffee and tea subsector is the decision whether to take coffee or tea in the morning. That is as far as it goes. And therefore, I want to ask you today, when those laws, the amendments come, when those regulations come, exercise patriotism. Please sympathize and empathize with the Kenyan farmer, and let us put some money to the pocket of the farmer so that they can realize the benefits of their sweat. Finally, I want to talk about representation. Please, other than CDF, and by the way, the President and I, you don't need to talk to us about CDF. That is preaching to bishops. We know the importance of that fund. And without blinking an eye, I can say, the only real work that you can see when you go to the ground is the work done by NGCDF. And that is because it is only about 6% that goes to recurrent. Everything else goes direct to work. The President and I and the rest of government will be with you to protect that fund, whatever it takes. Representation. Please, talk for your people without fear. Talk for your people without fear. You know, I used to sit with some people here when I was talking for my people. And they would tell me, hey, you be careful. You know, the people you are talking against, how powerful they are. I talked for my people. Talk for the people you represent. And don't fear. And those people will stand with you. I'm Deputy President today because I stood for my people. Fearlessly. Fearlessly. With the clarity of thought. Capture the thinking of the people you lead. And if there is a conflict between the interests of your people and anybody else, always stand with your people. And you'll never go wrong. You'll never go wrong. You know, here I want to talk about the committee you people referred regulatory as catering committee. That committee is the best. The members' facilities and services committee is the best. You want to ask me why? That committee of the 12th Parliament has produced the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. It has produced the Minister for Education. It has produced the Minister for Public Service. It has produced the Minister for Social Protection. It has produced the Leader of Majority. Please, if you want to be somebody in this country, please move to that committee. Muende kwa hiyo kamati. And is it a simple way? Is it a simple way of saying pahali natupwa sio pahali nafanya nini? Inaanguka. Na wale walikuwa mbele walirudi, na wale walikuwa nyuma. So wewe ukifikiria you are punishing somebody kumpeleka kwa hiyo kamati, wewe hujui mambo ya Mungu. Mungu akasema huyu Riggy Gachagua huyu mnatupa ate kwa kamati ya kitchen. Na mnafungia pesa yake. Na mnashika yeye kila Friday. Huyu mnaona ni takataka huyu. Mnatukana yeye kumuita takatanga. Na kuumiza yeye huyu, mimi kama Mungu, kwa sababu Mungu ni Mungu, ndio nitainua atakuwa naibu wa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. So, please, na wale wanapangia wengine. Wewe si Mungu. Unapangia wengine waende jela. Naye Mungu wako na mipango tofauti. Let us be nice people. Let's love each other. And let us not be petty. Kulima watu wengine na ufaidiki. Unalima mtu na hakuna faida utapata kwa hiyo. You know, there is a saying called a dog in the major. Umbwa inazuia farasi kula nyasi na haikulangi. Wewe unazuia mwingine kupanda na wewe hiyo laini yake sio yako. So let us be good people and be nice people. So me, I just wanted to say I'm so happy to be here. And of course, mambo ya ng'ambo vile minister wetu amesema, Hata mimi naendaga ng'ambo na ninaenda na wabunge. Lakini tumetengeneza new criteria. Speaker, tutakuwa tukienda na wabunge on the relevant field of that safari. But kama wewe hujawahi fungua mdomo yako bunge, nani atabeba wewe? Nobody. We'll make that decision on the basis of how active you are in that particular field. That you speak about it in parliament, kwa TV, kwa radio, you are passionate. Like now, I want to go to Ethiopia for benchmarking on how to get market for coffee. If you have been talking about coffee in parliament, outside, you are the right person to go with, irrespective of the party that you belong to. So, even we have also asked the president to do the same. But if you are never seen, wewe unatoka bunge huongei, unakunywa chai pale, unapiga story, unaenda nyumbani. Unaenda safari, unabadilishia nguo kwa airport, unaenda safari nyingine. Na hizi safari wacha tuongee tu kwa sababu we are colleagues and we are brothers and sisters. Hii safari imeumiza wabunge wengi. Ukienda safari, uache umepanga maneno yako nyumbani. Hata hii ya Mombasa ni muibie siri. Hii mlikuwa mnapiga kelele hapa mambo ya CDF. Ni mzuri, raia wanapenda CDF, lakini ilipiga nyinyi kidogo. You are talking from the wrong venue. Raia wakiona nyinyi Mombasa wanafikiria mmekuja raha. So even as you are talking, akina mama anasema nasi wako Mombasa kule kwa maji. So as you go out, as you travel, wacha umepanga maneno nyumbani, inaendelea vizuri. Finally, I know there are areas that are really struck by drought. The situation is very bad. It's very bad. We have just gotten some 2 billion shillings, and we are going to buy food as early as Tuesday, Wednesday. We will assess the areas, and I'm going to give instructions that the distribution by the DCCs be done with the members of the National Assembly. Ndio pia mujipigie debe kidogo ya kwamba mnashughulikia wananchi. We have also told our Minister for East African Affairs, Regional Development and Asals, there are areas outside the traditional assault areas, but their conditions are the same. We have told her to do an appraisal quickly so that those areas can be gazetted to start benefiting from funds from the donor community so that we can be able to make some progress. So mimi yangu ilikuwa ni hayo na kusema you people, you are doing a good job, muendelee. Nitatafuta nafasi nipitie hapo bunge siku moja tukule lunch. And by the way, my office is open to all members of the National Assembly, irrespective of where you voted. Hiyo maneno ya kura sisi tumetoka hapo. We want to work for everybody. Na mkiwa na shida, nimesikia mlikuwa mnagombanisha commissioner of police here. Sasa the Inspector General of Police, you know I still belong to the old school. Ile ya commissioner nilikuwa mtu ya era hiyo. What you do as members of parliament, mkiwa shida kabisa, if you have problems na ile officer ametumwa huko na amwezi fanya kazi pamoja, munitafute quietly. Tupange hiyo maneno kinyumbani. I am there and I understand. I had DCCs who did not want to see me. Gari yangu ilikuwa ikipitia hapo wanafunga gate. So I know if there are some sub-county commanders who cannot let your work go on. So if you have such very unique situation, please don't suffer in silence. Lakini tusianike, mtutafute polepole, tupange hiyo maneno polepole. We give you a team that you can work with. I and the president were members of parliament. We want really to support your work because we were in the situation you are in and we understand. We don't need to be told by anybody. And we know what you go through and what you need every day. So I want to confirm that we are ready to work with you. Wanjala, you look for me and try to persuade me about polygamy. Endelea kuongelesha. Lakini hiyo tabu mimi siwezi. Hata wewe ni dume wewe. Sisi moja anatusumbua watatu ni kibarua. So Speaker, I want to say I'm very grateful and honored that you invited me here, and I'm really very grateful to have this opportunity to interact with our members of the National Assembly and to wish you well in your job. And you know the turnover this time was not bad. More than 50% of members came back. 50? 54. And let me tell you, wewe ukiwa na CDF 140 million, ukuja uvuguzwa na raia, there's something wrong with your head. You should be checked. With 140 million every year, alafu uvuguzwa na raia, kichwa yako nataka upelekwe upimwe na mtu upatiwe report. I'm telling you, that money, na siri ni hii, please, don't send your PA to launch your projects. Don't send your chairman. Hao mapia wanakujaga kutoa mjumbe. Wewe pigia kazi yako debe. Sisi tunafanya kazi kama kuku. Kuku ikitaka mayai kasaizi hii juu ya nyumba inapiga kelele for 4 hours. Kila mtu anajua kuna yai imefanya nini. Sasa wewe usikue kama ng'ombe. Ng'ombe ya grade na kamuliwa 40 liters imenyamaza. Hiyo maziwa yote inauzwa na wafanyikazi. Yeah? Si ndio? Hiyo maziwa hakuna mtu anajua iko. So the neighbors na wafanyikazi wanajisaidia na hiyo maziwa. Lakini ile yai moja, hata kama ni neighbor huko na deni yake, anajua iko yai moja, anakuja kudai wewe. Please, because sisi tunataka tukue na nyinyi, mpigie kazi yenu debe. Hii barabara hii ya Kera, please, hiyo barabara you launch, weka mpaka kibao, hata picha yako. Wewe sasa. Sasa wewe. Mimi, unajua, let me tell you, wewe ukikosa kupigia barabara yako debe, MCA atakuja aseme ni yake. Governor atakuja aseme ni yake. Mimi kwa sababu ya kupigia barabara yangu debe. By the way, if I ran again as member of the National Assembly, I would have had 95,000 votes. Because barabara yangu nilikuwa hata ya governor wanasema ni yangu. Because I'm always around. Governor akijaribu kusema hii ni ya mheshimiwa Gachagua. Because I was always there. Mimi nilikuwa one. Saa ile contractors wanakuja kuinspect, gari yangu iko mbele na loudspeakers mbele ya contractors. Macontractor wanafanya nini? Wanafuata. Sema mheshimiwa ametumana, barabara zenu zote zinapimwa na amekuja kujua kama ile yenu iko na barabara ni hii zinatajwa. Hiyo ninamaliza once. Barabara ikijengwa, watu yangu iko hapo na reflector na jina yangu, na ninaongea na contractor ndio wenye kulipa watu jioni. Watu yangu ndio wanalipa. Ikikwisha, mimi mwenyewe nakuja natembea hiyo barabara, if it is 3 kilometers, natembea hiyo barabara na wamama na vijana mguu kutoka mwanzo mpaka mwisho. Ukijaribu kusema ati sasa kama iko barabara nilikuwa najenga, hii barabara ni za Uhuru. Wakauliza ati Uhuru? Ati si ni mheshimiwa tunaonanga hapa kila siku. So please, pigia kazi yako debe. Na please, never build a school before uende uongee na wazazi na watoto. Alafu ukimaliza urudi. Uende mara ngapi? 2. Wewe unajenga shule, unatumia 3 million unakaa Nairobi. Nani atapigia hiyo barabara debe? Hiyo shule. Si ni chairman? Wewe enda to the school, call the parents and the children. Say I want to do ABCD. Come and do it. Finish. Come and open. And I'm telling you, if you do that, utatolewa bunge na uzee. Lakini waenda safari, upatie chairman aende afungue. Upatie nani aende afungue. People forget you, they forget you. By the time uchaguzi unafika, nobody even remembers you. So mimi hiyo ni yangu tu. From my own little experience, I hope it can help you. Please. With those very many remarks, thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much.